What's on Your Mind is sponsored by ACMC 339.0, New Star Radio 98.7 FM, Breakthrough Studios, and Reggae Jam.
Good afternoon. How you doing? Welcome to another program in the series of What's on Your Mind. The program is produced by Breakthrough TV, and I am Carl. Hope you're having a good week. Let me say thanks for tuning into the program, and I want to say a big shout out to all you guys on Facebook. Yes, we're coming to you this week live on Facebook, and don't forget this is a live program. I'm sitting here right in the studio, and it's been a wonderful week. Also got a wonderful guest with me this week, and she's back with us again. Marcia, how you doing?
Very well indeed, and it's an honour to be here. And it's a wonderful platform for us to be able to talk about those things that are important to the Nubian community.
Marvelous. So what have you been up to?
Gosh, right. So I'm, as you know, my organisation is Black Heritage Walks Network.
Yes.
We're expanding and growing bigger all the time. So we're now running Wellbeing Days, which have been funded by the NHS COVID project.
Yeah.
And that is to enable African Caribbean over 50s to go to a place where there's gentle music, light refreshments. They can take home a bag of fresh fruit and vegetables and enjoy some gentle yoga and arts and craft. It's a way of enabling people who have had to self-isolate and feel, anxious about coming out. But it's a place where the niche market is the African Caribbean community. So I've been doing that.
Yeah.
Doing lots of project work and heritage work and
Marvelous.
research.
So
Yeah,
you've been busy.
Oh, absolutely. And then I do lots of other little things. So I volunteer for a Christian organisation.
Yeah.
And we've got contracts throughout the whole of the Black Country with the local supermarkets, and we collect the food that gets thrown away is disgusting.
I can
the
imagine.
amount and
imagine.
the value. So we then redistribute it into the community. So I'm that community person.
You're right to this.
I'm that community
And
person.
you enjoy your work? You enjoy it?
Love it.
Yes.
Love it because it's making, for me, just giving somebody a bag of fresh fruit is no big deal. But for them,
Yeah.
it really is. It shows that someone cares.
Yeah.
It's a little saving on their pennies. And, it's that whole thing of when you go to that person, knock on their door, you also have a little chat with them.
Marvelous.
How you doing? Is everything okay? Is there anything I can get you? So it's that sort of thing,
Yeah.
the aftercare as well.
It's very friendly and very.
Oh, it's wonderful.
And so I suppose some of those people become your friends as
They
well
do,
in general,
part of my
isn't it?
network, and it's unity in the community. That's what I call it.
I'm glad you are. So we're no longer in COVID, are we? We still got there's still COVID, but there's no restrictions.
You know what? We'll always have some sort of COVID, but right now I think we're as normal as we could have been before. Yeah, before.
I was watching a program last night. The Ukraine charity awards, and fantastic. Let me say it's absolutely fantastic. But all those people, there was a lot of people there.
There's millions.
And it makes you wonder, like, all of a sudden we had COVID, and all of a sudden this sort of, and we couldn't sort of do
Mingle,
anything. We couldn't mingle. We couldn't mingle. And then you see people just mingling like that, and you think,
Could you imagine?
And it makes you think.
Well, for me, can you imagine if we'd have been going through COVID and this invasion as well? I do not know how could the world have coped?
And the war.
That's what.
The Ukraine, what's going on with Russia and Ukraine?
Well, whoa. Okay, my take on it is this.
Yeah.
And I'm a history buff. I'm a history nerd.
You're a history nerd, yeah.
I love history.
Okay.
Now, I haven't researched Russian history in massive detail. I haven't. But I know enough to know that this was something that was always going to eventually happen.
Yes.
It wasn't a matter of if it was time, because the whole thing of NATO and Russia, you can't mention NATO near to Russia at all.
No.
So those countries, you're always wise after the event, but those countries that border Russia, keep yourselves quiet, keep yourself neutral, and don't mention NATO, because the big bad dog roars. Look at this. And what you've got to look at is those people, millions of people, are just basic people like you and I.
That's right.
And today they had a house, a home, a family, their own network, and the next day,
everything
nothing.
is gone. Everything is
How
gone.
would you cope? You can't.
It's almost.
So do you know what? Don't bring it on yourself. I mean, they're brave people, but just don't. When you're bordering a superpower,
Yeah.
keep yourself quiet.
Oh, we see what happened with the Bay of Pigs and the Cuba. Many the history of that. Many
You
years
know,
ago.
and this is how it's all about politics, yes, and in politics and war, yes, someone will die and all the rest of it, but this one need not have happened.
Yeah.
Trust me, need not.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you.
Not in these modern days.
Anyway, as you know, guys, I said this is a live program. And Marcia, we'll chat later on, as you know. I was look at a few things that is happening around the world. And let me say big shout out to Sister Efrey. And she was our guest on our program last week. Big shout out to you, Sister Efrey, and all your wonderful friends. And thank you for what you do. Maximum respect. Anyway, as I always say, I look at a few things that's happening around the world. Now, the big one is, you know, the Oscars and Will Smith. You laughed. And it's the slap. It's that slap, isn't it? It's that slap. A lot of people say, well, was it a real slap or was it a good slap or was it a slap? Or should he has done it? Basically, Will Smith was at the Oscar and Chris, as you know, Chris makes a joke and the joke focused on his wife who is got a condition, you know what I mean? And I mean, when you see it, Will was all laughing, and then his wife gave him a look. And his wife looked at Chris first, and then he gave him a look. And then Will get up and go and smack the man. Marcia, because I know we're gonna chat about this later, but I just want to quickie with you there.
What my thoughts are on it, at first it was surreal. I didn't even think, because it didn't look like a slap. And then when you realised, you thought, oh, my initial reaction was, no, not two Nubian brothers up there embarrassing themselves and us.
Yes.
That was my initial thought.
Is that what you see?
And I tell you for what it was as well. It's like myself, like most people, I didn't link the slap with the joke to Jada Pinkett. I didn't, because I didn't realise she even had alopecia.
No, me. But
it took at least 3 times for me to watch it and someone to point it out
that
to me
she had
about.
that. I mean, and we see Jada Pinkett so many times with her hair so short. And she's just a nice, new, beautiful lady with short hair. I never actually thought she had the condition.
When it was pointed out, it was because I said, has she? Because I didn't realise. I just thought she had a natural short haircut. Yeah. And maybe I'm behind the times because everyone else seems to know that. I wasn't able to link it up with the whole thing of the G.I. Jane film thing.
Yeah.
I didn't link it to that either at first.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Because I couldn't link it, I'm sure quite a lot of people couldn't. And so I don't think the comment that Chris made was that deep. For Will to react the way he reacted.
I'm going to explore this later on.
No problem.
Let me move on. Now, in El Salvador, man, has declared a state of emergency based on the fact that 14 people were killed on Friday. 76 people were killed on Saturday. It's not getting any better. So the emergency ministers say they had to put a curfew in, and as I say, it's getting very, very bad there. Now I come to London. Moving on. Now a Nubian man has been strip searched by the Met Police officer because allegedly he was wearing the wrong clothes. And the climate, he was wearing the wrong clothes for the climate. And footage has gone out, you know what I mean? And those footage has been actually on TikTok, and it's been shared about 400,000 times. Yeah, it's not funny, but you know, it's one of them ones. However, the Met has says it's only like a basic. We haven't seen the fullness of the whole incident. You know what I mean? That's what they said. They say they're aware of the footage that is going on, but they have not. We haven't all seen the fullness of the whole incident. So I think they're saying there's more to it than what we actually seen. You know what I mean? And I mean, Eric Taylor he was detained and he was searched. You know what I mean? And it's a weird one when you say, you know what I mean, people's been detained for, you know, wearing the wrong clothes or being in the, you know, in the wrong climate. So it's a little bit one of them strange ones. So, but we'll see how that one pans out later on, or what else gonna happen. You know what I mean? If it's the same thing that we keep seeing all the time in different situations. You know, Marcia is actually nodding her head with me.
You'll always see this.
Yeah.
There'll never be a time when black people are not searched, not harassed, not humiliated by the police. It's part of their culture.
Is it?
Yeah, it's there's lots of different reasons as well. Don't get me wrong. There are certain individuals that fit or might look like they fit a certain prototype.
Yeah.
For example, drug dealer. Let's be honest.
One of the things they actually say, one of the things they actually say, because where he was is very well known for drugs. The area that he was in is very, very well known for drugs. So that is actually one of the reasons why he actually does it. They actually did it.
So you've got that. There's certain places where you go there, and then if it's a massively hot day and you're wearing a massive thick overcoat, you can argue you can wear what you want. It might look a certain way. But even if the guy was in shorts and t-shirts, the fact he's black, he's going to be stopped.
He's going to be stopped.
So it's nothing to do with what he's wearing. Let's be honest now.
My days. Let me go to Jamaica. Now, Jamaica. There's been a bloodbath in Jamaica, I got to say. St. James Police has confirmed that 5 people has been injured and 3 are dead. It happens in Norwood, and this is on Saturday. You know what I mean? A 14-year-old girl is also still injured, and she's critical in hospital. And we see this going on all the time. You know what I mean? The Minister of National Security, Dr. Chang, visited the area on Saturday, but we don't know what is going to happen. And I gotta do this. You know, I gotta do this because I come to Loop News. Loop News, searching for a motorist who mowed down a pedestrian in St. Mary. This happened on Saturday. 13-year-old girl was stabbed to death by her uncle in Clarendon. And he's actually in custody. A man who is believed to be mentally ill or mentally unstable was battered and stabbed to death. This also happens on Saturday in Maypen, Clarendon. Yeah. Staying with Jamaica, the big one that's actually came out today is the legendary, iconic reggae singer Toba Diamond of the Mighty Diamonds has been killed in Jamaica. One of the Mighty Diamonds member, as I say, and he was killing Malikli Crescent. And last night, another 2 person was in the car. Okay. And it's one of those things. It's one of those things. So we've lost another star. You know what I mean? We lost another one of our superstar. But when it focus on like a star, you know what I mean, or a reggae singer, everybody will come out and says, But the damn thing keeps happening all the time. Yeah? It keeps happening all the time. When it's a star, everybody will come out. And I'm not dissing anybody here. I'm just, as I said, maximum respect to the family. But when it's a star, everybody will come out and say, oh. But it's happening all the time. And that is the sad thing about it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. I know you would have loved the Mighty Diamonds that make so many fantastic shows, Marcia.
I'm quite sure my dad is one of his fans, that sort of age group.
Yeah.
He was just oh.
Well, I've met him. I met him some years ago. You know what I mean? I met him some years ago. You know what I mean? And it's just when you meet people as well, and it's a terrible thing to actually happen. You know what I mean? And I mean, the man is only 67. He's only 67, you know what I mean?
Wow.
You know what I mean? I mean, you probably think maybe he was a little bit older because they've been going for such a long, long time.
Yeah, but
you know
I
what I mean?
mean-
But the man's only 67, and you know what I mean? You don't expect that sort of thing to happen. You know?
When saying, I mean, how can I put this? This same amount of crimes that are happening in Jamaica are probably the same as the UK. It's just that Jamaica's that much smaller.
That's right.
It's
Compared to the
to-
sort of
to-
population of what is happening, you know what I mean? So when it happens, you think, oh, for such a small island, you know what I mean? With this amount of thing that is going on, you know what I mean? It's not nice. And people sometimes will say, oh, you're hitting out in Jamaica, you're hitting out in Jamaica. And I've said this many, many times. We don't talk about it. It's on Facebook, Jamaican news. It goes out everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah, there's nothing you won't see anywhere.
There's
but-
nothing you won't see anywhere. Even if we talk about it, you get it everywhere. So it's not because we are hammering at Jamaica, we're having a go at Jamaica. You get it everywhere now because social media, you'll see all those guys walking around even in Jamaica and driving around in the car and they're putting out stories anyway as it happens. So it's everywhere. So it's not a matter of talking. Why we talk about it, or why me particularly talk about this so many times, is that we expect a change. And by talking about it, we expect to see people getting together and doing some form of a change.
The thing is, though, you'll only get a change by actually finding out what are the reasons. Because what was behind the killing of this man? Was it jealousy or?
I don't know. As I said, the news only came in today. I think it happened last night. So the news, the
some
details
sort
of the news are still very, very sketchy.
Conflict with another a musician.
A
whatever.
musician, you don't know. That does sometimes happens, you know. That does also sometimes happens. Let me move on. Now this is a very, very interesting story because Labour MP Dawn Butler says she thought she was going to die after she was diagnosed with breast cancer. She's having a little break now, you know what I mean? And says she's having a little break. But she says she went and had her tests. She was telling the BBC, and without her check, she would not have discovered that she has breast cancer. And she said if it wasn't for a mammogram check, you know what I mean, she wouldn't have found out. So, ladies,
Yeah, that's true.
you know what I'm going to say, don't you, Marcia?
Yes, definitely.
Go and have your check.
Yeah, I mean, wow. And it's one of these things you kind of have in the back of your head, but because this world, the day is so packed, we live in this rat race, you put it off, then you put it off, then you put it off again.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah. And I say, we say, get well soon, Dawn, because we need you as an MP, so get well soon, my sister. Yeah. Hope you're feeling better very, very soon. And thank you for sharing that, because it will encourage, you know what I mean, women to go and have their check, yeah? Marvelous, marvelous. Now, the next one I want to move on is the bill. The National Borders Bill. Clause 9 everybody's talking about. And Clause 9 exempt the government from giving you notice. In simple terms, and it's not funny, in simple terms, if you're a British citizen, the government can remove your citizenship, and they don't have to tell you, and they don't have to give you a reason in certain circumstances. I've had a lot of people asking me to talk about this. You know what I mean? I've had a lot of information sent to me about this. And there was somebody I was actually going to play who's actually talk about this. And I don't know if we can get a little clip of what he actually having to say somewhere along the line. But I say this is a bill that will affect about a lot of people, and people are very critical of this bill as well, because it reminds them so much of the Windrush scandal, where so many people that was actually born British citizen or British subject was actually deported wrongly. Yeah.
So with this then,
Yeah.
even if you, is this for people that are even born in Britain as well?
Yes.
So you were born here,
Yes.
and on the basis of that, this is your nationality.
Yes, they can. Yes.
Not if you're born in a country.
Of course they can. Let's have a look at this.
Hold on, I don't get this, because
If you're born in this country and they decided that they can remove your citizenship.
but so where would you then be able to say you were born?
Well, they can remove your citizenship and send you to the country of where your parents was from.
No, that's ridiculous.
It is just Let's have a look at this, if we can get this up. Let's have a look at this.
Next week, the government's draconian Nationality and Borders Bill will come back to the House for debate. And let me be absolutely clear, I will be opposing this racist, divisive, discriminatory bill, but of particular concern is Clause 9 of this bill, which gives the government further powers to strip you of your nationality, of your citizenship, without any notice, without any right of appeal, and without even giving you any explanation why. And let me be clear, this will disproportionately impact on minority communities, even though this government will tell you there's nothing to worry about, there's nothing to fear. But this is from a government who has a track record. Let's just look at the Windrush generation, where tens of thousands of people were deported, who had lived here their whole lives, worked here, made a positive contribution. So we don't believe what the government tells us. So I urge all of you to please write to your MP to oppose this bill next week, to oppose this racist, divisive and discriminatory clause. Thank you.
So there you have it. The National and Borders Bill is passed. And let me explain this to you, like it exempts the government from giving you notice in single terms if the British government wants to remove someone's citizenship. It will no longer have to give you a reason why they can do it.
Right, okay, I just want to find out. Let me just go, because I just find this mind-blowing.
Yes.
Let's say me.
Yes.
I'm born here.
Yes.
They can do that to someone like me because my parents were not born here.
Yes.
Okay. So will this then only apply to people of colour?
I don't know. It's called the national. I suppose it probably will apply a lot to people of colour, but it is called the nationals. It is called, what is it called? It's called the National and Borders Bill.
But this goes against the Human Rights Convention, this does. I'm quite sure it does.
Yes.
So hold on, let me just delve further. Let's say you are a bog standard, and I'm going to say Anglo-Saxon Caucasian person, and all of your family from generations to generations have always lived here in England.
Yes.
Right. Will it? So that person commits a crime.
Yes.
Is the government going to take away their citizenship in terms of where would they send you to because you were all your generation? Seriously, right? Are all your generation have always lived in this country? Right?
Yes.
You're of this generation, and you commit a crime. Where would they? Are they going to take away that person's citizenship?
Well, I suppose what would happen? The grandmother's law, what you call the grandmother's law, will actually kicks in, wasn't it?
What's that law then?
The grandmother's law, where your grandparents was born.
But what I'm trying to say is, your lineage of family have always been in England.
Yes.
From the 18th century, say.
Yes. Well, let's hypothetically speaking, yes.
Right. You know that person today who commits a crime. Will that happen to them? How? I don't understand this. Yeah. I don't get it. It obviously only relates to people of colour.
Yeah.
Whose heritage would never have been long-standing, but who might be second or third generation. I don't know.
And as I say, I think what happens, the grandfather, the grandfather laws kicks in.
So is this
well, the bill is actually, they upgraded the bill in March. Yeah, they actually upgraded the bill in March.
So right now it's already written in law?
That's why you see the gentleman, they're asking, so we should actually write to your MP and discuss this with your MP and say before they actually pass the bill. They've been talking about this for ages, so it's actually asking you now to say, listen, go and talk with your MP because they're going to vote on it sooner or later.
Well, if that's the case, I don't think a lot of people are quite aware of this bill, especially this whole thing of Clause 9.
Yeah.
Nobody
that is the main thing, Clause 9.
And I don't know anybody who's talking about this. So they're obviously not aware to know that literally you could be kicked out of this country, born here or not.
In certain circumstances.
What would be those
I
circumstances?
don't know.
Oh,
Well, they use this, don't they?
so
will-
when they say
will
certain
use-
circumstances,
they will use this.
that means whatever they decide on the
Yes,
day.
exactly. Isn't it? That's how it works. But it's like it's like a draconian bill, isn't it?
Draconian. This is medieval.
It is medieval.
But I'm sure it goes against the Human Rights Convention.
Yes.
Ooh.
I mean, I don't know what it is. I haven't looked into that one, but the Human Rights Convention. But it's a good one to actually look up. Yeah.
Wow. Is this to do because of the amount of refugees that are coming into? I mean, I don't know why they think. Why do they want to do this?
Who knows? Government can do what they like when they're ready, don't they? They do what they do what they like when they're ready, don't they? Governments do that.
People don't know.
And the worst government to do that is when they got the majority.
People don't know about this clause 9. They don't.
Yeah. Let me move on, Marcia. Our time is moving, and we're having a great time. Now, let me go to Jamaica. Now, the young man you see on my screen, the medical fraternity is after mourning his death. Dr. Brandon Dixon, he suffered multiple injuries and he died in Orange Bay, Havana, in Jamaica. He was a wonderful doctor, absolutely fantastic. He works at Lucy Heath Center and at Cornwall Regional Hospital. He lived in St. James. And they say he's a very, very young doctor. And, you know, it grieves your heart when you see somebody so young and doing so well. And I've always said as well, you know what I mean? I don't know what the circumstances of this crash was, but 109 people in Jamaica has been killed in road accidents since the start of the year. Very small place that we talk about, isn't it? They don't like, when you say they're small, they don't like you to say that, but it's the fact, you know what I mean? And as I say, it's one of them. More than 20 children has been injured also in motor vehicle accidents. It seems like we take it for the normal, but it's not a normal thing that should be going on. And I don't really see it as the norm. Yeah. Let me move on. Now, Black News. The Black News channel has actually, the back has actually pulled out of this. They've actually pulled out of it. And a lot of established journalists actually went and joined this cable channel. However, the backers have decided that they're not going to put any more money in. So a lot of people lose their job. About 230 people that was employed at the company has actually lost their job. One of them once again.
So this would have been.
This is it's an American cable station that produces the Black News channel. It's called. You know.
Is this based in Britain or?
No, this is based in the United States. Yeah.
So why did the backers pull out? I don't.
They don't give any reason. Backers can pull out for a different reason when they want to, don't they? They can do that. That's if they think the firm is not viable enough, you know what I mean, or the firm is not doing good enough or whatever, you know what I mean. They can.
See, you've got such a massively big
can
black population in America.
Yeah.
This should win. This should.
It is. And I said, a lot of people work at this company. You know what I mean? And they've all lost their job. And a lot of people left different companies to go and work for this company.
I know.
And then suddenly, whoop, they just...
So would it have been America's first black news channel?
No, they've got other black news channels. This is just probably one of those news channels.
Okay.
Because they've got station what you call Black News, and this is actually coming from Black News. You know what I mean?
Right, okay. Well, we'd have to find out why. I think it's a shame. It's another... Oh, what is it? Was black people, we can't make it in business, or we can't... You know, it gives us a negative look, but maybe it's nothing to do with colour.
I don't want to say that because we don't know who the backers are.
That's right. I was going to say, we don't know who the backers are and what their reasons are, you see. So, I don't know. Okay.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Press the subscribe button. Let me slow down. Press the subscribe button. It's free. You don't have to pay. Let's come to sports. Now, the West Indies has beaten England in a 10-wicket win in Grenada. So they won the series 1-0. That was the men. And I want to say a big shout out to you guys on Facebook as well. Let me say thank you for tuning in. And don't forget the likes, yeah? And also, that was the men. So the West Indian men win this series against England, and the West Indies ladies. See, I've got the ladies coming up now, you see. We never leave the ladies out. The West Indian ladies has also reached the final, and they will be playing Australia. And England will also be playing South Africa. Yes, so we say maximum respect. And I gotta tell you though, I do like the West Indies ladies cricket team. They're absolutely fantastic, very, very good. I see some of them, I caught some of them play the other day, and it was absolutely marvelous. So we say big congratulations, ladies. Fantastic, marvelous, great. You're doing a great job. And you never know, you can run past the ball at any time. You agree, don't you, Marcia?
Well, the thing is, you see, this whole thing of having women cricket, rugby, football teams, we've been having that ages ago, years ago.
Did you? Have you ever played?
I haven't, to be honest.
Have you ever played cricket?
I did once.
Which sport did you play? Which way did you play?
I prefer football.
You play football?
I play football.
You play football?
No, I've had the ball bounce off my head too many times. Football.
So, I'm not going to say it. Shall I say it?
Yeah, go on.
Your head wasn't big enough.
That's the one.
How many times you've heard that?
Many times, because that relates to me on an everyday basis, to be honest with you. Now, I found that the cricket ball a bit hard compared to the football when it bounced off my head.
I've said this before. I've said this before. Cricket, where cricket is concerned. When I was very, very young, we used to play cricket, and we used to play at school. We used to play like after school. But we used to have this and it still is in my mind from this day. We used to have this bowler. And I'm going to name his name. I'm going to say his name. I don't know where he is in the world now. And his name was Brenton.
Was he a good bowler?
He was a bowler. Brenton was a bowler. I was a batsman. You know what I mean? I like batsman. I like feeling that first slip. But we used to have this bowler called Brenton. And when Brenton come at him fierce, him make up him what we call him, make up him fierce.
Aggressive.
And it's frightening. And that just put me off cricket. Just the intimidation.
Because you've got to the adrenaline rush and so on.
Yeah, just the intimidation.
No, if you ask me to do a sport, I'd prefer to do bird watching.
Bird watching is not a sport. Go jogging instead. Go for a walk. Watching bird not getting watching bird, you're not getting the exercise.
To be honest with you, in terms the one exercise I love doing is swimming, which
swimming?
is because it's kind of, how can I put it? It's a stress-free float, but you do use all the muscles in one go. Swimming's more my thing. Anything what I call knee and elbow and head impacts, and no, it's not me.
You just put yourself in it there, because you know what? I'm actually a very, very good swimmer.
No, okay.
I haven't been lately when the corona was on, but I've been swimming for years.
I love swimming.
You know what
I love swimming. It's stressful,
I
but you get good
I do love it.
exercise.
I used to get up very early in the morning, and then I go swimming.
Just swim.
And then when I finish working, because I never worked too far from where I could find a swimming pool, and then just go there and swim. It's great. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. What actually sort of pushed me off is when the coronavirus coming, because I'm scared of people. so
that's not the day. We're good now. We haven't got that coronavirus, that horrible mist. I hate it.
Yeah. Guys, on Facebook, don't forget to share the program. Let me say thank you. Now, let me move on to my next story, which is entertainment. Now, I got to say this, because now, entertainment. Will Smith has won the Best Actor Award in Hollywood. So he's won the actual award. And we say a big congratulations to Will, even though of all the things that goes on, you know what I mean? And it's good to see he does that. Because you know what? And I was saying to you in Marcia before, but there's only 20, what you call African American, they say, that's won the actual top award. And there's only 4 women that actually won the award. And so we say that. So we say, regardless of what was going on, we say congratulations.
Congratulations to him, but boy.
Well, we're gonna talk about that a little later, because that's gonna be part of our rant. And I know Marcia got a lot to say about that in the rant. Now, my next story is still entertainment. Now, the young artist, Coffee has released her debut album. Gifted, it's actually called. Now, it's a 10-track album, and there's quite a few tracks on it. And she mixed actually pop, Afrobeat, and a couple of other genres in that. Also, what she's done one of the first tracks you actually heard on it. She sampled a Bob Marley track, the 1980s song, Redemption Song. She sampled that, so she's on that. I've heard it actually. It sounds quite nice, but that is Coffee. So, as I say, check the album up. The album is out now. It's released, and it's called, as I say, it is called Gifted. A wonderful talent, and she's going to do very, very well also with that album. And she's been around for such a long time, and this is her first album. But tracks like Lockdown is on it. West Indian is on it. Also, there's a tracks I've been playing recently, which is Pull Up, which is also on it. You know what I mean? And I say she's been around for such a long time. Seems a long time. You know what I mean? She's also won she won an award some time ago, didn't she? Singing in the reggae award, which is very good, So that's what you have to do. What is it, you know what I mean? So it's absolutely good. Let me say big congratulations to her. Now, ranting time. My rant. So rant, we have reached is what we call, and it's all about the man that you see on the screen, Will Smith. Now, I've heard a lot of people say a lot of different things about Will Smith and this rant. Some people say it was false. Some people say it wasn't false.
It was real.
It was real. Now, myself, I've heard a lot of people talk a lot of things as well. I myself feel that, and I'll put a lot of people, I feel that Chris Rock shouldn't have made that joke. Even though they say it wasn't a joke within a joke or what a joke. I think he should have known better. Because my thing is that if you know somebody's got a condition, you're not going to make a joke about them, are you? You're not going to make I know what you're saying, Marcia. You're not going to make a joke about if somebody's got, say, cancer or whatever, you know what I mean? So we need to be big people sometime and, you know what I mean, stop making sorts of the jokes. That's just my opinion. The other thing is, about Chris Rock is that, in fact, making a joke, is that if him say, whoa, the sky is black, somebody's going to laugh. Because he's at the audience. If somebody said the sky is blue, he's going to laugh. The other thing I want to say now, the other thing is that, in fact, I've heard some, even Nubian and, African Americans saying, oh, it make it bad for us now, it make it bad for us. We can't get into Hollywood now. You've never been, a lot of us in Hollywood anywhere. As I say in the history of Hollywood, there's only been 20 people that actually have plenty African American people that have the top awards. 4 women, I keep saying. So we never been big in Hollywood anyway. They put us there when they want to, and they take us here when they want to, Marcia. that is my point of view. So
I don't think that the managers, the steering group, whatever you call them, of the Oscars, will sit down and say, because of this, we won't invite or nominate any black actors or black... No, they won't do that.
No, they won't
because this isn't a racial thing. In fact, what I've heard is that they're more likely to invite more and more black actors and actresses because you get some nice, juicy drama. No one's going to... People will be talking about the Oscars for the wrong reasons, but for a long time. So actually, we add the drama that no one else can.
And you know what? I think what happens, everybody, COVID was everywhere.
Yeah.
A lot of those people were locked up in Hollywood anyway. There was the restrictions.
Yeah.
And then we have the war in Ukraine, which is not a joke.
No.
And then these guys still come and slap each other.
This one here,
so
it just goes to show, put black people in the mix and then you'll have the drama. Then you'll have a nice, juicy show. People won't stop talking about this for a long time. For the wrong reasons, I might add.
Yes.
For the wrong reasons. Do you know what? It's one of these things I always say, should have, would have, could have. I'm quite sure Will Smith is regretting his actions now.
Yes, he is.
But at the time, I think he imagined that everybody, not just Chris, but the whole audience was laughing at his nearest and dearest.
That's right.
When you've got a nearest and dearest who's got an ailment or condition or disability, it will raise up your blood pressure to think that someone is creating a joke, and then you've got these whole heap of people laughing.
Yeah.
That instantly is a red flag. And when you're angry, because that would have made him angry, you react. That's what happened here. This isn't Will Smith. No, he wouldn't do that. A lot of people...
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
To be honest with you, Will Smith I don't think he's got it in him too. He isn't that fighting person, is he? No. So there is that aspect of it. And we can all say, do you know what he shouldn't have done? Do you know what would have, should have, could have?
Well, I think both of them probably was in the wrong, you could say. I think I'd say both of them, yeah.
Both of them were in the wrong. But I don't think Chris would have said it knowing it was going to hurt. Well, he wouldn't have said it knowing he's going to get boxed around his face.
But allegedly he has actually made a joke about Jada so many years ago.
Yeah, right.
If you recall.
There is that.
There is that anyway.
So does it look like he's picking on her?
Some joke about Rihanna, something about...
Party, and she wasn't invited or
something like that. There was some joke about that as well, isn't it?
There is that. Yes, and I didn't know of that, and I don't know if a lot of people would have recollected that or even known of that. I didn't, but definitely they would have known about mundane. You know, this whole thing, let's look at the cause, alopecia.
Yeah.
I never even knew the lady.
I never knew it.
I didn't know. I just thought that was just her hairstyle.
And you hit on a good point there, because what it actually does, it actually makes it more... You see, something good can always come out of something bad if you see it bad. And I wasn't sort of aware of this myself, so a lot of people will be actually talking about it. In fact,
I didn't know.
There's a lady from our city who was saying she thought Will Smith should have actually go and highlight this even more. You know what I mean?
You can say what he should have done, and I'm sure he will do, and I'm sure this naturally will. And I'd imagine alopecia for a woman is very embarrassing.
Of course.
More embarrassing than it is for a man. We're used to men.
Come on. You see men. Let's see men. As soon as men start using their hair, they start getting panicky.
Anyway, men. Anyway, so for a woman, even worse. But as I said to you, she hid it well, because I didn't know that she had alopecia. I thought it was her natural hairstyle. I'd imagined it's something that's very sensitive to her. She'd have spoke to him about this, quite traumatic for her. And he's feeling on the anxieties that his wife has been having all these many years with her alopecia. And Chris Rock picked on a very sensitive subject for his wife. That's why you saw that reaction. That's not Will Smith. No. Will Smith isn't that sort of guy.
I don't think he'll lose any work as well for that reason.
He won't lose any work.
I've heard people sort of saying, "Oh, he should have lost the Oscar."
No.
And then I thought, are you crazy? Listen. Look, how many Oscar that Harvey Weinstein or whatever? How many did he lose?
No, he won't. What this does do, though, as well, is how can I put it, highlight the standards that a comedian should have. There was another comedian a few months ago who made some joke in a stand-up comedian in a bar or something, and he got into a lot of trouble. I cannot remember who it was. So then maybe there's a lesson here for comedians to know the standard of how far you can go.
Yes.
There's the other learning curve.
Totally right there, yeah. Totally.
Absolutely.
Fair. Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing as well, I think what will actually happen now, let me laugh, because I like to laugh. You'll actually see probably security around these stages now, because there was no security at the stage.
You wouldn't think there would be.
So, would you? But I bet they're reconsidering now to put it over.
I wonder if Chris Rock is going to press charges or anything.
No, I don't think he's going to press charges. I've checked it out today, and Will has actually apologized. You know what I mean? And maybe if he had punched him on the nose
and it started bleeding,
it could have been different.
But because just a little slap.
It's a slap. What you call it? Slapgate? Is that what you call it?
I call it slapgate, to be honest, because I really do think. No, I do. A lot of people. I don't think this subject will die down for a long time. You won't be able to brush this one away. Sorry, the pun.
I was thinking that.
You won't be able to brush this one.
I was actually thinking. I actually sling another one in the mix while I was thinking. I was in the bathroom today and I was thinking, suppose Kanye West was there.
Can you imagine? With his mental health problem. Oh my gosh, so you got 3 of them on stage. You got Chris Rock. And then, Kanye's got
I who sad. I don't think he was. I think he was refused to go there. I think they refused him to go there.
He went there. Was it some music?
That one. But can you imagine?
MTV Awards.
Yeah.
Oh, God, and he said some about Beyonce and was it Miley Cyrus or
No,
something?
I think he was a I know it's not
Taylor
Miley.
Swift.
Taylor Swift, yes.
He's another one. But with Kanye, to be honest, he's the sort of person who could get away with saying these things because you look at him and unfortunately it's awful. He's got a slight mental health problem. He's not quite...
I think it was the Grammy Awards.
The Grammy Awards.
Yeah.
But this isn't Will. Will wouldn't do this. Naturally, he wouldn't. He was pushed, and it was because we're at this big gala event, and someone's poking fun at his wife.
But you know, his wife has also. I think she's actually talked about this on social media. You know, Jada has actually talked about her condition on social media.
As I said, God, it just goes to show how much I follow. I didn't know.
Well, as I say, the good thing about this is like it makes it so much aware. You know what I mean?
It does, and it makes you aware that certain things are very sensitive. I think with some comedians, they do cross the line. But because they're a comedian, they can get away with it. And they didn't mean it. And it's only funny and it's only a joke. But some do cross the line, especially, you know, with things with race and sex and gender and so on. Yeah. This one now, you're talking about... Because you wouldn't call this a disability, but you call it an ailment, a condition. Yeah, there's certain things I think...
But the other thing is, you know, the other thing, coming from where I'm coming from my background, I mean... I'm a brother. He's a brother. You know what I mean? What was it? The brothers then. Let's say
this was look. He's going ow. You can. Let's say like I'm looking at his facial expression and I can feel the pain from here.
Let's say the brothers then. You know, let's say the brothers now. You know, brothers, because a lot of brothers, you know, grow up with a lot of respect from back in the other sisters as well.
Yes,
we go for a lot of respect, and there's just certain things that you just wouldn't say.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So if my guy here now, Chris Rock, who's, you know what I mean, should have been aware of this, and there's just certain things you just don't say.
Chris Rock wouldn't be aware
about a brother or a brother's wife. It's like me going out with somebody. Say it's like me going out with how do you put it? It's like me going like to say it's like me going out with my friend's girlfriend. Or you see what I'm saying?
I totally
or something
know.
like that. So there's certain respect that you have that you don't do.
Chris Rock is a bit like Piers Morgan. They go to the edge.
Don't mention him.
Yeah, exactly. Chris Rock's style is to go right to the edge and over.
Yeah.
And be obnoxious and vulgar and rude.
Yeah.
That's his style.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this was the one that knocked his style back a bit because. Let's be. I mean, I'm looking at it and I feel like saying, "Ow!" I feel like rubbing his cheek and saying, "That this will get better." Can someone get me some cold ice?
The first time I actually saw Chris Rock, Chris Rock came in one of my favorite movies, and he was in Boomerang.
Yes. Yeah.
No, was it Boomerang? The one where Eddie Murphy had the obsession about the lady's feet.
Okay. What was that film now?
Is that Halle Berry? Was that Boomerang? Robin Tyson.
Yes, and
I
know the one, and I
she's in
cannot
that.
think.
She's in that. Was it
I know that one, but I can't think of the name.
And he's saying to her, get off of that girl. It is Boomerang. Yeah. He's saying, get out of that girl. Get out of that girl. You remember Chris Rock? Very young Chris Rock, and he was shouting when Eddie Murphy saw her. You know what I mean? Has his heart broken? Or he was crazy for the actress in that, and she actually like was using him, like, you know what I mean. So, and he was saying to Eddie, come on man, get over it. That's the first time I actually saw Chris Rock in everything.
Is known for this style of comedy.
Yeah.
And you expect it almost. And oh gosh, it's all according. It was just the place where it was. I just think for Will, it's because he just felt everyone was laughing at his wife because of Chris. And he just touched that nerve. Because he was laughing with Chris over some jokes before, but that particular one. I don't know. Oh gosh.
It is one of the ones.
It's one where we won't forget this Oscars.
And it's gonna go on and go on and go on and go on and go on. Yeah. Right, I just gotta look at my next rant, because my next rant concerning a bit of the rise in our fuel bill with everything. And women are feeling it so much of the rise in fuel bills, keeping your house going. And mothers, as I say, mothers with their children are feeling this so much. Everything is going up. Petrol is going up, diesel is going up, your house bill is going up. Nothing is actually, you know, staying where they should be. You know what I mean? So we hope somebody can sort this out and that sort of thing. Marcia, before you, I know you got to rush off.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I was just talking about, you know, the fuel cost of bills and all the rest of it.
Okay, the situation is won't get any better. Will only obviously get worse, and I see this constantly all the time. This is why I do what I do, to gather that food that the supermarkets would throw out to hand back to the community. We're in this will get worse based on the fact that this Ukraine and Russian thing, this will cause a shortage of your staple wheat and barley. That then will will spiral out of the point where it'll be out of control. And be worried. That's what I can say. Just be worried. What we can do about it is hardly anything, because I've noticed how petrol prices are literally going up at 3p every couple of days, and that makes a massive difference. With the fact that everything else is also going
Well, inflation is 5.5%.
We don't stand a chance.
And it probably is going to go up to about 7%.
And your natural basic wage, your what we call living wage,
It's not going up.
Okay. So
Yet, I should say, MP had a big rise.
pennies. Oh yeah, they will.
MP had a big pay rise in the UK. I think it was in March.
For little bog standard people like we, you know, bread and butter. There won't be any butter soon. But on that note, we'll just enjoy the bread. You take care, Carl.
Marcia,
wonderful.
let me say thank you. I know
Yes.
you gotta go. Thank
Yes,
you.
you
I know
take
you're
care.
in a hurry. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Will
Yes,
you be
it's
back
been
here very
wonderful.
soon with
Yes.
us? Thank
Take
you.
care.
Have a great afternoon. Yeah.
Bye bye.
Respect, maximum respect.
Bye bye.
So as I was saying there, guys, thank you, Marcia. Maximum respect for, you know what I mean, coming up and sharing your view with us. And as I was saying, the cost of living is going up all the time. And children, mothers, and everybody is actually feeling it, and it's not getting any better. And there's nothing is coming down. You know what I mean? Wages are not going up either. And as I say, Marcia was saying, that you see the situation that is going on with the Ukraine and food shortage, you know what I mean, the whole, basically, the sanctions are hitting everybody. Now, a lot of people's not saying that, but the sanctions are hitting a lot. Because before the sanction, you know what I mean, a lot of people we buy from Russia or they send things to Russia, all that is stopped now. So people's going to feel it, you know what I mean? And, you know, it's one of them ones. It's one of them ones, and you don't know how things are going to pan out, you know what I mean? And they say, when you look at the price of fuel is not going up all the time. Your household bill is going up all the time. Your gas, your energy, everything is going up. Food, I got to say, I don't like to make a joke about this. For me, food, I don't eat a lot anyway, so I'm not too bad there. But I always eat the right stuff and make sure I eat the proper stuff that keeps me going. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen by the end of the year or next year when things gets a little bit more, you know what I mean, more expensive. And I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't know what's happening. And we hope that the war stop very, very soon, you know what I mean? Because they're saying all the time they're having peace talks and all that sort of stuff, and things going to get better, and they're deciding to sort of, you know, make sure everything gets better. But it says, the lady on my stream, she's saying that things are affecting them so much, you know what I mean? Some people have got nowhere to live, some people's got nowhere to sleep, and the food bank is getting more and more all the time. I mean, I got to tell you, a couple of days ago, I drove along the street in Birmingham, and on the one street, I passed 6 food bank. It's a very long street, but I actually passed 6 food bank. And I was actually stopping at the traffic lights, and I noticed, I literally count about 35 people quickly that was actually standing in the queue in the food bank. Further down the road you go is exactly the same thing. And I say, when you see things like that, I mean, it just begs to differ. And it's all coming out your pocket. Everything's coming out your pocket. Everything's coming out. Okay, you got to pay, but the wages is not going up. You know what I mean? Even to drive in Birmingham City Centre, they've got this thing called the clean air zone. You got to, if you haven't got a car that actually fits in that category, you got to pay £8. £8 you got to pay every time. And if you're in the city centre and it's 12 o'clock in the night, and then you have to go back into the center again, or say 12 o'clock in the night, and if it kicks over to 12 o'clock, like 12 o'clock, and then it gets into 1 o'clock, you still got to pay £8. So you pay £8 from the 12 o'clock at night, and then it goes back into, say, 1 o'clock, in the same sort of couple of hours later, you still have to pay £8. And taxi drivers are actually complaining about that sort of thing. A lot of people are actually complaining about that sort of thing. And it says things are not getting any better. And I do hope the government, you know what I mean, the government will take some notice and they'll wait till the election now. They says, oh, we're gonna review this, we're gonna take this down, we're gonna make things easier for you just because they want some vote. Because that's always happens. When they want some votes, they always say the same thing and do the same thing. Oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and we're gonna make sure, you know what I mean, everything is fine. Yeah? I don't know. Let me say, I want to give a few thanks to all you people who's been watching the program, and both in the USA, Jamaica, and all over the world. Let me say thank you, and don't forget you can pick up the program on Facebook. Don't forget to share the program as well on Facebook. Let me say thank you, Facebook listeners who actually tuned in for the program. Let me say big shout out to you, Sister Audrey, how you doing? Also, Sister Effrey, how you doing? Brother Simon Solomon, how you doing? Steve Morrison, how you doing? Let me say thank you, all you guys who came on the program. Malika Queely, how you doing? So many of you that actually took part in this program, you know what I mean? Highly Bread, don't forget Highly Bread. Big shout out to you, Highly Bread. Highly Bread got his birthday splash. He called it his birthday splash. And his birthday splash is actually the 1st of April. It's not an April Fool. It's not an April Fool's. And he has it at the Heartland Banqueting Suite. And that is Friday. So I say Highly Bread has been actually one of our guests. And we say big shout out to you, Highly. Also, Brother Lighty. Brother Lighty was also one of our guests. You know what I mean? The late also, Michelle Hemmings was also one of our guests. Let me say big shout out to her. She actually take part in the program, you know what I mean? And we say big shout out to all. Also her family, we say big condolence to her family. And I actually, you know, Michelle Hemmings was so, Four Kings and Queens was actually also on our show, you know what I mean? Big shout out to you. I remember Michelle Hemmings, you know, she came on the program, big respect to her. She came on the program and was having a great chat. And she was actually talking about, you know, the road in Perry Bar. That's what was on her mind. She was actually talking about the road in Perry Bar. And we say, you know what I mean, we wasn't expecting what happened to Michelle Hemmings. So we say big shout out, Michelle Hemmings. Thank you for, you know what I mean, coming on the program. And big shout out to her family, you know what I mean, and maximum respect. Also, Seymour Buck, brother Seymour Buck. Let me say a big shout out to you as well. I'm trying to do the roll call. Brother Seymour Buck, as I'm sitting here, I'm trying to remember all the people that we've had on the program. But if I miss some of your names, it's not deliberate. It's because I'm trying to remember a lot more of your names. You know what I mean? It's been great having you on the show. Let me say thank you for coming on the program, and you know what I mean, and helping us. And we mean to still go forward, you know what I mean? We're still going forward. And as I say, we are here each week, and I say this is a live program, and maximum respect. Also, Anita Taylor, big shout out to you, my sister. You actually, and I know you're coming back at the show. Andrea Maynard Braid also. You came in on one of very, very early show. Let me say a big shout out to you, Andrea Maynard Braid. Yes, and I know she's got this wonderful book as well. And also a big shout out to you, Jennifer, over there in Canada. Big shout out to you. But know we're gonna be talking to you very, very soon. You know what I mean? And there's trying to remember a few more of you who's actually been in the program. And I'm gonna say maximum respect. And so many of you took the time out, and you know it's what. Oh, I know Shazadi, my day, Shazadi. And I say, if I miss you, please don't take offense. It's going around in my head. So big shout out to you, Shazadi, who also been on the program. We had a wonderful show with Shazadi. Also big shout out to the Gaitras family. Also, Leisha Mack, we say big shout out to you as well. Let me say thank you for tuning into the program. Thank you. We are here next week, week after week, week in, week out. Thank you for tuning in to Breakthrough TV. Don't forget you can catch me also on New Star Radio, www.newstarradio.co.uk. I do a drive time show every Thursday from 3 to 6. Also on a Friday from 3 to 6. Must not forget my very good friend Errol Taylor. Big shout out to you, Errol Taylor, sir. Big shout out to you. And don't forget to check out we're actually a duo. And we're called Carl and Errol. Yes, we do a lot of things. We're actually called Carl and Errol. And we've got an EP called Guitar. And we got a classic tune, a couple of tunes on that EP is called You Left Me for Paris. Set Your Spirit Free. There's one we call Mandela. It's a tribute to Nelson Mandela. Also, you can check that up. You can also check those shows, those tunes out. All those days, shows tune. Those days is a tune actually about my mother. You know what I mean? So we say thank you. Thank you for tuning into the program. I want to say thanks to our wonderful guest, Sister Marcia. My time is almost here. Let me say thank you once again. And tune in to us next week. Also, big shout out to you guys. Facebook, for the first time this week. Maximum respect. My time is here. God bless you.
On Your Mind is sponsored by ACMC 339 Dudley Road, New Style Radio 98.7 FM, Breakthrough Studios, and Reggae Jam Jam.
Planning an event? Do it professionally. Please contact Breakthrough Event Management Team and get everything under one roof for both indoor and outdoor occasions, birthday parties, bridal and baby showers, anniversaries, funerals, backyard BBQs and more. We offer a video and photography service, marquees, decoration and a PA system to hire, with popular new style radio DJs spinning old and new school hits. Please contact 07584 197 380 and book all your catering needs with Reggae Jam Jam catering service on 0787 244 3765. And remember, do it good and done.